All right, so another big trade was just announced. It feels like we've been waiting for like 20 minutes for this.
Yeah, like we've been in this call for like 30 minutes now, but we're just gonna run with it, and more details come out. We'll talk about it. But Claude Giroux is a Florida Panther, and so yeah, Claude Giroux's a Florida Panther. So is Connor Bunnaman and German Rutzoff, and a 2024 fifth-round pick going to Philly. Owen Tippett, a first-round pick in 2024, and a third-round pick in 2023. Philly's returning 50%. What the fuck, Chuck Fletcher? Like, actually, what are you doing? What are you doing? First, you give Ristolainen 5.1 for 5 years, and now you're giving up two prospects and
uh,
Giroux. Like, what the
okay,
hell?
okay. I'm gonna play not devil's advocate, but I'm gonna sort of defend Chuck Fletcher here.
Okay,
Um, Claude Giroux had a no movement clause, so he could basically pick and choose where he went.
yeah,
So
but why add the two prospects?
I don't
Why are you
understand that.
adding? Why are you adding Bunneman and Rubtsov?
Yeah, if at the very least you should have made a counter deal where you just do one for one a pick the first round pick for like Giroux, but
Right.
it the full deal is Claude Giroux 50% retained, Connor Bonneman, German Rubstov, fifth round pick in 2024, and then Philadelphia receives.
Yeah, it's confirmed. The deal's done. Like, this is a
Yeah,
full deal.
yeah. Philadelphia receives Owen Tippett, first round draft pick, and a third round draft pick. So,
Let's
yeah,
first start state the obvious that Claude Giroux is going to make this Florida team like it was already such a good team up front. They're even scarier now, and they're probably my cup favorites. I think they are. I think Giroux with that center court of Barkov, Huberto, you got Sam Bennett, you got Verhage, you got Duclair, you got Horncliffe, you got Lundell, you got Marchment. It's such a stacked team, and you basically gave up nothing, absolutely nothing for him. And you're getting back Bonneman and Rubtsov, two great AHLers who could be bottom six NHLers one day. And the only thing you give up is Owen Tippett, who's the same age as them, and a 2024 first round pick, which is 2 years from now. That's such a good trade for the Panthers. And like you said, Drew definitely had a hand in this. He wanted to go to Florida, but still, it's like it's such a bad deal for Philly, especially since it's your captain.
yeah, I understand there was the no movement clause, so he got to pick and choose where he wanted to go. But it's insanely ridiculous that Hampus Lindholm gets more of a return. Brandon Hagel gets more of a return than Claude Giroux.
It kind of reminds me of the Hall trade last year, where Hall only got to dictate where he goes,
Yeah,
and
it reminds me of that,
yeah,
which it makes sense because both had no movement clauses, but
and he only wanted to go. And like I said, like I know he only wanted to go to Florida, but the fact that you're adding on two pieces along with Giroux, that's just where I'm like, what are you doing?
yeah,
Like the
no,
first third, like even just the first third and Tippett alone, it's like that's nothing. You're adding two prospects, two tweeners to it. Like that's an L.
yeah, no. If they offered that, they they should have immediately, and I mean immediately, countered with uh they should have immediately countered with like just a one for one or tip it and the first for Giroux or something.
Yeah,
Or if Chuck Fletcher was a good GM, he would have played hardball
right.
and
Yeah,
said, "No, we don't need to trade Giroux. You're gonna have to cough up more."
right,
Because if you want to be realistic with it, they didn't have to trade Giroux. They could have just focused on re-signing him.
right. Like like even if it wasn't Tippett, you should have asked for a guy like Denisenko in a deal or like Grigorenko. Like there's so many. It's I just feel bad for Philly fans because um Yeah, that's just.
They
I just
got
have no
they
idea
got fucked over.
Yeah, that's exactly what it is. They got fucked over. And Philly had all the leverage in the world too. So I just like.
But that's the thing though, they didn't have any leverage
Right.
because Giroux could pick and choose where he goes. Obviously,
Yeah.
they had some leverage because obviously they could have played hardball, but then you run the risk of, well, you have to get a deal with Florida done, because he doesn't want to go anywhere else, so you have to
I
get a
don't think
deal with.
that's the one thing I think. I don't think he resigns in Florida. I don't think they have any cap room. But like, like even just for a short term thing, like Owen Tippett, he's already 23.
But
Like, like he's not going to amount to anything special.
yeah,
A
as what
first round pick
I'm
in 2024, that could be very low. Like,
yeah
it's not a good return.
as what I was trying to say, like you, you had to get the deal done because whether or not you want to extend Giroux, you had to get the deal done if you're going to play, because you could only play hardball so much with Florida in this situation, because once again, you can't go to another team, you can't go to Boston, Colorado, you can't go to another team and be like, what do you want, what are you going to offer us? Or
Right.
you can't say, well, Colorado's offering us this and offering us this, because Florida knows that Claude Giroux ultimately makes a decision, so why should they have to try to offer an arm and a leg or even a fair deal?
Yeah.
And
And I'm. Oh no, keep going.
if and let's say this, if if uh if Philadelphia tries to play hardball with Florida, Florida could just be like, well, we don't want him then. We're not willing to pay more, and then they're fucked.
Right. It's just yeah. I mean, that's all I really got to say. I mean, I don't want to just start repeating myself, but like, they just got fucked over. That's it.
Yeah.
And I mean, like you could have waited. There was no rush. You could have I know Philly I think plays tomorrow. Like you could have sat out Giroux tomorrow, like you did yesterday. Trade on Monday. There would have been better offers. And if Giroux it's just it's just a terrible trade. But Philly fans, what are your thoughts on this trade? Florida fans, what are your thoughts on this trade? We're probably gonna be a bit late to uploading this, but like we wanted to make sure everything came out. And
Yeah.
make sure Monday we'll be streaming the deadline. We'll be up early like we were last year. Hopefully there's some trades that day, unlike
Yeah, let's
last
hope
year.
it's not like they make every single trade before the fucking day of the trade deadline. And
There's gonna be like 6 trades tomorrow, bro. That's what happened last year.
I
It was like
know,
6 trades at
and we're gonna
midnight. It was
and I'm gonna be the one doing like carrying the stream again.
no, yeah. Maybe you can predict more stuff, but yeah, that's it. And we'll see you guys next time.